Good morning, good evening, no matter what time of day you're watching this. I just want to say thank you for joining me and watching this video. Today on our my cooking channel, cookingwithjohngruber.com, and our just because you're my friend too, we are going to be focusing today on a plant-based breakfast. Now this is a carrot cake oatmeal, and I'm really excited to show you how I cook this recipe. Okay, all of the ingredients have been gathered, and I'm really keeping this pretty simple. I'm going to grate up some carrot. I have some walnuts because I believe there's a couple of ground nuts in the carrot cake itself, and then also some raisins for sweetness. I have 1 cup of water in the pot. It was boiled, but because the induction cooker is kind of noisy, I turned it off for now. I'm going to start it up again, and yeah, this is just going to be so simple, so quick, because I never have time for overnight oats. I'm not going to assemble things, or not time, I have plenty of time, but it's just a matter of I never think ahead. So I want this now, I'm hungry for it now, and so this is my way of doing it. Obviously we're going to have some oatmeal. These are just some quick oats. I don't care if you use steel cut or the traditional oats. You can make them according to the recipe. Today I'm just going to make them with the quick rolled oats for the video's purposes of a quick recipe. I have some maple syrup here for some sweetness too, in addition to the raisins. It's going to add a little bit more, just something delicious. Now you can make a vegan cream cheese icing if you want for this, but again, this is quick, on a budget, easy peasy. The next step is, or the next ingredient is going to be then your cloves, some cinnamon. If you have powdered ginger, go ahead, put some powdered ginger in there. That's going to give it more of that delicious carroty ginger carrot cake taste. I don't have ginger on hand, and I'm not going out to buy it because I like to, again, cook on a budget, which means pretty much cook with what I have on hand. So the first step is, again, get the water to a boil, but I'm just gonna grate the carrot as well. This is a carrot, as you can see, the tip has been cut off because it was starting to go a little funky in my fridge, and I don't want to eat that. It also started growing as well, but I know that this portion of the carrot, the rest of the portion that I'm going to be using is delicious. Yes, I'm using an entire carrot because I want this to be as chock full of vegetables and fruits as possible. If you have apples, throw apples in there, just grate that up, throw it in. It's also delicious. I know bananas can add a great sweetness, but be careful with the banana because it'll start to taste like a banana bread oatmeal. It's not a bad thing, it's just not what we're making today. So I have this awesome grater that's double-sided, so it cuts in 2 directions, which makes it for fast work. And we in the industry call these knuckle busters, usually because every once in a while you'll get yourself caught on the grater. So be very careful when using such an instrument. And if you get nervous, you don't have to grate the carrot down all the way. You can leave plenty of room for safety for your fingers. Nobody likes fingers in their food. So it's just quick and easy. There are other ways that you can grate these. You can put this in a food processor if you're careful with a food processor, or even more confident with the food processor. But this is what I'm going to do. I'm leaving like an inch. I'll have that as like a snack later before I throw it away. And now I have carrot peel, like carrot grate everywhere, but it's okay. All right, so I'm going to be turning on the water again, bring it to a boil, add the carrots, even the walnuts, the raisins to the hot water, along with some seasoning, get it to boil again, and then once it's boiled, add the oats to a bowl, and then pour all the hot liquid on it and give it a stir in the serving dish. So I will fast forward through that so you don't have to wait for water to boil, because it's probably one of the most boring things to do. Okay, so the water is boiling and boiling very rapidly. I'm going to remove the lid very carefully and set that down here. And now I'll add all of my ingredients to the cooker, or to the hot water. I'm going to start with the raisins. The reason why I'm throwing the raisins in there is I don't really like a chewy raisin in like a cake-based item. And then I'm just quickly cooking these up. These little grated carrot bits. Just because, again, I don't really want a crunch in my oatmeal. Adding just a dash of the seasoning. I don't want too much. That was probably too much clove, but I like clove, so it's not going to bug me. And then again, just a little bit of cinnamon as well. And I can't get this lid back on. There we go. I always try and tighten the lid before I move around. That way if I bump it and it knocks over, it doesn't spill. I have 1/3 cup of quick oats in here because it, okay. 1/3 cup of oatmeal in here because they usually say that a 1/2 cup is a serving size, but I find that that's too much, especially with all the add-ins. So I'm just going to scrape in any last little bits of carrot in here and pray that they will get cooked up with the hot liquid that I add to it. Get that out of the way as well. And now I'm going to remove my hot liquid, give it a little swirl around, and that again is only 1 cup of water. Well, maybe a little bit more because of the boil. I kind of planned ahead, thinking it was going to boil out. And a spoon. Get all that goodness out of there. Give it a stir. And did I use too much water? I may have. But the good news is I have more oats. So I can add some more oats too. And now this will be a 1/2 cup, which is like 1 serving size. That's a little bit better. And I'm just going to let it set in the bowl, let it fluff up a little bit. I don't like my oatmeal pasty. I kind of prefer it a little bit more on the, not the runnier side, and certainly not soupy. But I just like it as like a loose cereal in a way. I don't care for it all, gloppy. So, okay. And that is the carrot cake oatmeal. I'll see you next time on Cooking with John Grouber, and we'll probably be doing a couple of these plant-based series. Looking forward to experimenting with some recipes for you. So see you next time. Thanks.